They say 29 is the age of stability. But today, with my father in the hospital and my bank account at zero, I am learning how to survive all over again. Hi, I'm Hieu. I am a 29-year-old freelancer in Saigon. At this age, most people are building their careers or starting families. But for me, life right now is a daily struggle just to stay afloat. Looking at these old photos, I remember when things were different. I used to have a good income in crypto, but a harsh winter took everything away. Today, I'm starting over from a much lower place than I ever expected. Life changed almost overnight, and I found myself having to start over with very little. Instead of giving up, I decided to learn video editing as a way to rebuild my life and earn a living. The journey has been challenging, but I truly believe that as long as we have the willpower and determination to keep moving forward, we will always find a way through. Living in a megacity like Ho Chi Minh City is never easy. Rent keeps going up, and so does the cost of food. When you're living on a very tight budget, eating at a local eatery is sometimes cheaper than cooking at home. Today, I stopped for a plate of com tam, Saigon's iconic broken rice. At around 50,000 Vietnamese dong, or about $2, it's an affordable meal that keeps me going. It's simple, warm, and filling. Sometimes, that's all you need to gather the strength for another long day. But the financial struggle is only half of the story. Life has a way of testing you when you are at your weakest. My father suddenly suffered a hemorrhagic stroke and had to undergo emergency brain surgery. He is now fighting for his life in the ICU. To prepare for his return, my girlfriend and I decided to clean his house. We are throwing away many old things he used to keep. It hurts to let go, but sometimes to rebuild, we must clear away the old to make room for new hope. Having her stand by me during this storm is my greatest blessing. It took hours of sweating and sorting, but it is finally done. The house is clean. The space is ready for him. We need to know when we have enough and when to let go. Simplicity brings a strange kind of peace during a storm. This is the road to the hospital. It is old, worn down, and overcrowded. In moments like this, surrounded by millions of people, you can still feel completely alone. Everyone is rushing, chasing stability, while inside the hospital, money cannot buy time, and plans for the future suddenly lose their meaning. Entering the recovery room is the hardest part of my day. Inside these walls, money cannot buy time, and plans for the future vanish. I see my father, and I realize we must appreciate what is right in front of us before it's gone. Before dinner, I stopped to grab a cup of sugarcane juice, one of my favorite drinks. It's inexpensive, refreshing, and you can find it almost everywhere in Vietnam. With the hot weather, especially here in Ho Chi Minh City, a cold cup of sugarcane juice is a simple pleasure that many Vietnamese people enjoy. Sometimes it's the little things like this that make an ordinary day feel a little better.
Không bị kẹt nữa. Không bị kẹt nữa.
It's late, and after leaving the hospital, I stopped for a bowl of bún bò. At 45,000 Vietnamese dong, it's a simple meal that's still affordable. Sitting quietly at a small local eatery, I savor the warmth of the soup after a long night. In moments like these, I realize we don't need much to keep going, just a warm meal, a little hope, and the strength to face tomorrow. After dinner, I made one more stop before heading home. I needed to buy a few electrical supplies, just some light bulbs and a couple of power outlets. It might not sound like much, but they've been on my mind for a while. The lights in our house still use old fluorescent tubes that have been there for decades. Over the years, they've become dim, unreliable, and some have already stopped working. The power outlets aren't much better. After so many years of use, they have started to wear out too. I figured this was the right time to replace them. Sometimes, improving your home doesn't require a big renovation. Even small changes, like brighter lights and safer outlets, can make the house feel more comfortable and welcoming.
Cái này là 1,2 m hả chú?
1,2 m á.
Ồ, sao dài dữ vậy ta? Có loại nào ngắn không?
6 tấc là 1 nửa.
Ồ, không, chắc lấy cái này đi.
I always come to the same little electrical shop. The owner is an older gentleman who has helped me several times before. He's patient, honest, and always takes the time to explain the differences between products instead of trying to sell me the most expensive ones. It's becoming harder to find shops like this. People who genuinely care about their customers leave a lasting impression. I picked up everything I needed, thanked him, and headed home. It wasn't a big purchase, but it felt like another small step toward taking better care of the place my family calls home. I got home, put everything away, and drove my girlfriend home. By the time I returned, I was finally ready to call it a day. Just as I was about to go to bed, my phone rang. It was the hospital. The doctor asked me to come in immediately because my father needed another CT scan. A few minutes later, I was back on my motorbike, riding through the quiet streets of Ho Chi Minh City. At night, the hospital feels completely different. The main entrance is already closed, so I have to go in through the emergency entrance. The outpatient areas are quiet, but the emergency department and the ICU never sleep. My father is still there. Doctors and nurses continue working through the night, doing everything they can for the patients who need them most. After the CT scan, the news wasn't as encouraging as I had hoped. There was nothing more I could do that night, so I quietly headed home, hoping tomorrow would bring better news. The road ahead is still steep, but I'll keep moving forward, one frame at a time. Thank you for spending today with me. How has life been treating you lately? I'd love to hear your story in the comments. See you in the next video.